you wanted the best, you've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
I'm Chris Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the big show. For 16 years and over 2,300 episodes, we bring the Chris Voss Show. The different ways we help you improve your life by bringing the smartest people on the show, the CEOs, the billionaires, the White House presidential advisors, the Pulitzer Prize winners, the people who go through their cathartic journeys of life, and they figure out solutions and everything they can do to make their lives better, and then they come share with you and to make everyone else's life better. Because last time we checked, we're not alone here in all of our problems. It seems like there's a commonality in some of them, although some of you have more problems than even I do, which is something. That's what my therapist told me anyway. Opinions expressed by guests on the podcast are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or the Chris Voss Show. Some guests of the show may be advertising on the podcast, but it is not an endorsement or review of any kind. Today we have an amazing young man on the show. We're going to be talking to him about his insights and how he can help you with health, diet, gout, and all sorts of different things, and how he's overcome them. That's the little great thing about stories. They help us understand like an owner's manual to life. So today we're joined by Spiro Koulouris, and he's going to be talking to us about his stuff, what he does, and how he does it. Welcome to the show, Spiro. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me, Chris.
Give us your .com so people can find you on the interwebs.
So anybody that has any gout-related questions can find me on goutandyou.com. That's basically a blog about gout where I blog about what foods to eat, what foods to avoid, what treatments are out there, what is gout, who it affects, and so on. And it's a big community of about 50,000 folks, I would say, on social.
About 50,000 folks you have on your show there.
Part of the community, I would say, with the groups, the social media, and so on. And that's where people can find me. If they want to email me, I answer all emails.
This sounds like a forthcoming Hollywood movie, Gout and You, or something. I don't know, maybe a documentary.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. Maybe one day.
It's like that Ted movie where it's got the little teddy bear. You can personalize gout, make it like, I don't know, like that Geico lizard, only bad or something. I don't know. And then it's about it's a buddy movie, right? Anyway.
Yeah. That's an idea.
See, I'm a big picture guy. This is how I think. So tell us about a 30,000 overview, what you do there at goutandyou.com.
So basically, goutandyou.com. What is gout? Gout is an arthritic condition. It affects about 2 to 4% of the general population. I would say 3/4 of men suffer from it. 25% of women. It affects folks usually over 50. The older you get, the higher risk you are of getting gout. And basically, gout is the condition where usually your body excretes uric acid via the urine, and if you produce too much and it doesn't excrete because the kidneys are not functioning properly, it basically stays in the body and crystallizes in the joints, and you get a gout attack that's very painful. So I had that at the age of 26. I got diagnosed with gout. I was out drinking with a bunch of pals late at night, drinking a lot of Jack Daniels and Coke. And then I went home to sleep, and around 3 a.m. I was stricken with a very painful gout attack. You couldn't even put the bed sheet on my foot. I hopped to the doctor's office the next day. He checked me out and quickly diagnosed me with gout. I didn't know what gout was. I did some blood tests, and sure enough, my uric acid levels were to the roof. So back then I was obese. I was about 50 pounds overweight, and I was drinking a lot, obviously being in my 20s. And that's the main culprits of gout, basically. It's a bad diet, alcohol, too much red meat, too many processed foods. I was eating a lot of McDonald's back then. And then I decided to do some research on my own and check out what the disease is about. And I decided to start blogging about it and start looking at the studies and realize there are foods you can eat that improve uric acid levels in the body and foods that raise uric acid levels. So I started blogging about it and building a community on goutandyou.com. And that's where we are today.
And how many years have you been doing that now?
Oh, boy, I would say since 2014, 15 around. So close to 10 years.
I'm drinking uric acid right now in my coffee, which is probably a spot for our sponsor here. Bob's Uric Acid. You can find it at local stores nearest you. Don't do that, folks. It's probably not healthy to do that. Whatever that is. Don't put it in your coffee either. The attorneys made me say that. Oh yeah, I mean this is a big deal. I've seen my mom suffer from gout attacks. I may have had some gout attacks when I was drinking. There were some times back when I used to hard drink, I would it was either that or it was low potassium attacks, right? You get what do they call them? They're kind of like, I don't know, your legs lock up, your leg muscles lock up from low potassium, and you get I forget what they call them, but they'll lock up and you got to jump out of bed and push your feet.
So it was arthritic.
I don't know if it's officially arthritic. I can't. It's right on the edge of my mind what they're called, but basically, you get this leg pain, and it zaps like really hard. You're just like muscle locks up. Yeah. And I forget what it's called, but yeah, that used to happen when I drink. Bad Chris. That was bad Chris days. That's when I had to hit myself with the thing. So tell us more about your journey. You didn't discover this till is this a permanent condition? Does your body naturally have a predisposition to low output?
Yeah, so unfortunately, it is for most people a lifetime condition. So the thing is, a lot of people will get gout, and then a doctor will prescribe medication, usually allopurinol, which helps control uric acid levels to keep him safe. And then they'll be asymptomatic, right? And then they'll think it's cured. They'll stop their medication, and then lo and behold, a year later, they might get a gout attack. And you don't want to have too many gout attacks because after that, it could affect the joints permanently. Oh, really? So yeah, a lot of people write in that they've cured it themselves, that was through diet and so on. I say great, but keep doing some blood work, checking where uric acid levels at. Make sure they don't rise and get another gout attack. So work with your doctor. Yeah.
Is it hereditary or is it?
For some folks, but I would say at the end of the day, it's more dietary. If your dad had it because he was obese, but you're in shape and you're eating well, you're not drinking or eating too much meat, right? You'll be fine. You're not going to get gout. At the end of the day, the studies show that gout is more dietary than hereditary. And like I mentioned before, the main culprits are alcohol, too much protein in your diet, because whatever strains the kidneys, that's where uric acid is produced. It takes about 90 hours to break down. Sugar takes out many hours to break down. Seafood, fish, anything high protein, which has high purines, the kidneys overwork, and when they overwork, they get strained. That's where uric acid is produced. That's the foods you need to limit. So I have a book that I've written 10 years ago, The Ultimate Gout Diet and Cookbook, and I advocate about what a healthy gout diet should consist of. I tell my audience they got to eat 80% of their daily calories as complex carbohydrates. So that includes vegetables, legumes, some fruit, 100% whole grain breads, 100% whole grain rices, beans for protein, more beans for protein than rice. And then 10% of your daily calories can be protein as in meat. So preferably clean cut meat, not too much fats, turkey, chicken breast, some fish. You could have beef, but make sure it's a lean cut. And always the size of your palm. Don't go and eating more than that in one day. That will control uric acid levels and not strain the kidneys. And then the final 10% of your daily calories that I recommend is fat, obviously. So you could have some dairy, some eggs, cheese, butter, and so on. So the 20% there, if you notice, is all animal-based foods. That's where you have to be careful because animal-based foods like meat and dairy strain the kidneys the most, whereas complex carbs like vegetables, your kidneys break those down very easily, very quickly, and they burn in the body clean. So not too much uric acid is produced. So that's basically the gout diet that I recommend in my book.
And you've got the Ultimate Gout Diet and Cookbook. I do see another book on the Amazon there, The Holy Grail of Health. Good health from a biblical perspective.
Oh, that's not me. No, that's not myself.
Oh, okay. All right then. Yeah. Gout and You, The Ultimate Gout Diet and Cookbook, and so people can order that up on Amazon. You offer there and on your website several recipes on how people can eat well.
Yeah, there's a lot of resources for people that suffer from gout to check out on goutandnew.com. I mean, you could find some recipes to get started. My book also has 100 recipes to help you get started. And then there's other resources. There's a purines calculator, so you could put the food you're eating, and then they could calculate how many purines are in there. There's a calculator for that.
Wow.
Yeah, and we have a section for supplements. So if you want to cleanse your kidneys, help clean up the body and control uric acid, we have NutriGout, NutriGout Plus. We have a pain relief cream in case you get a gout attack that you can apply. And we're a top seller on Amazon and Walmart with over 10,000 reviews. Yeah.
Wow. And so the cream helps with all that stuff. The question, Charlie Horse was the name I was looking for. Charlie Horse. You ever had a Charlie Horse?
No. What's the reference?
It basically locks up your leg muscles.
The leg Charlie Horse. Okay, yeah,
Charlie Horse, yeah.
And that was due to the drinking, really. Wow.
Yeah, because it was lowering my potassium levels. It's a colloquial term for a muscle cramp, a sudden involuntary contraction of muscle, and usually it would be in the calf muscles, and you'll get this sharp cramping that's may severe, and usually it's dehydration, electrolyte imbalances, muscle fatigue. For me, it was just, when you drink, it drains so much potassium and vitamins, and I think it drains pretty much everything from your body.
Yeah, you got to replenish.
Yeah. In fact, I had an ex-girlfriend who died of potassium deficiency from being an alcoholic, and I was just like, wait, how do you die from potassium deficiency? But such as it were. But so the gout affects a lot of people. A lot of people get affected by it, and so have you given up drinking? Have you done that yet, or have you found a way to balance it?
This is what I do now. If I do drink, it's only on social occasions. If I go to a restaurant, I'll have a glass of red wine or two max. And the trick, if you're suffering from gout, is drink a lot of water before and after to flush it out. And then if I have a beer or two, again, it's only on social occasions, and I stick to pretty much that. I might have a little whiskey here and there, but very rarely. So I don't drink on a daily or weekly basis. I would say once every 4, 5, 6 weeks.
Yeah. I gave up drinking in 2020 and I didn't have a problem. I just get tired of the, rebounds, and as you get in your 50s,
you get older. Yeah.
Your body just doesn't recover. It takes 3 days to kind of come back from, and it just kind of, the math just kind of, you're just like, I'm tired of feeling hungover. And then as you get older, you have 3 beers and you get a hangover. Just your body's, fuck you, we're not doing this with you anymore. This is year 20. And so then you're stuck and you're just like, I guess I need to grow up and quit being an idiot. But yeah, quitting booze, I just quit it. And geez, it's been so nice. I started listening to my body, and I would have 3 days of drag after. And so that's been one of the best choices I've made in my life, is to quit drinking. And God, I save a shitload of money too.
Yeah.
So there's a plug for getting rid of that. So people can go on your website, they can figure out what's good and what's not. What do we need is processed foods a major problem, I would imagine?
Yeah. So processed foods, again, the kidneys get strained when you eat processed foods, and there's a lot of ingredients that raise uric acid levels. I would say the most dangerous one being high fructose corn syrup. And that's pretty much in a lot of processed foods. So trying to avoid that ingredient because it's been linked to gout and high uric acid. So yeah, definitely avoid high fructose corn syrup, I would say.
Can I still go to McDonald's?
Yeah, listen, you could do it once in a blue moon, I would say, for McDonald's. I have a burger here and there. Nowadays, you have better choices, right, than microwave burgers. So go fresh as much as you can. But don't limit yourself. I mean, if you like a certain food, have it, but don't have it every so often. You save it for that special occasion once in a while.
So no more burgers every Big Macs every day.
I used to have it every day almost, the Big Macs.
Yeah. Is it part of it limited kidney function from either
that's
damage or hereditary or as
so
well?
Over time, as you're eating more and more protein, you're damaging the kidneys.
Really?
And that's why, you're basically because the kidneys have worked so hard throughout your lifetime that they're not functioning properly and they're not excreting uric acid, that you get a gout attack. And that's why it occurs mostly in folks 50 and over. In my case, I got it so young because my doctor said that I was born with a minor thalassemia, which is a disorder in the Mediterranean because I'm of Greek background. And it's a little blood disorder. It's nothing serious in my case. For other folks, it could be. And he says probably that is the root cause of me getting gout at such a young age. But in the news, I have been following the news and the trends, and gout is on the rise with the youth due to alcohol consumption. So I know in the UK and in the US, gout is on the rise for 20-year-olds due to drinking, too much over drinking.
Too much over drinking. And then, there's so much. I mean, those kids, you and I were probably raised, or at least I was. I'm really, really old. I don't mean to throw you in the bus under how old we are, but I'm pretty darn old. And, we grew up eating natural foods, and then somewhere in the 70s or 80s, we crossed over into, this highly processed, highly sugarized food.
Yeah.
And these new kids on the block, they, that's all they've probably known is McDonald's and crap foods and crap stuff. And so that's where they're at. So I can imagine, it's going to affect them more because they grew up in this kind of world. And I was really lucky. I started losing weight in 2016. I started tuning in my body. I got sick of being overweight. I went veganese, where I mixed being vegan with a few other things, I guess. And I get yelled at if I don't explain what exact one of the 2,000 variations of veganism there is. So I never know which is the correct one, but I just started eating clean. I still do that to this day. I buy my salad and different materials from a local farm that does hydroponic stuff. And I've just learned that just eating right makes such a difference in the quality of my body, my relationship with my body, like it's still my friend.
Yeah, for sure.
And it just makes all the difference. Now, do you coach on this? Can people have like hourly calls with you and stuff like that?
No, not at this time. No coaching services, but I mean, for gout diet, my recommendation is get a diary. Start writing everything down that you eat. If you get a flare up, you want to notice if there's a pattern with a certain food that may cause the flare up before you get that gout attack. So you may want to adjust your diet there. You're going to fail. I tell my audience from time to time, tomorrow's a new day, so get up and try and get back on track. That's my advice. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes a few months, right, for you to get used to eating cleaner and healthier. And your palate will change over time. So basically, that's the advice I give to my audience.
Now, I see something on your website that refers to a mortality date or death rate. That this can, eating poorly and not exercising, our overall mortality death rate goes down by 50% if you exercise regularly and, of course, eat well as well.
Yeah, definitely. Hit the gym like I do. If you hit the gym and do weights at least 3 times a day, there's a study that came out a couple of months back that says you're going to live an extra 10 years on average.
Oh, wow.
That's what a long-term study stated in conclusion. But for gout sufferers, since you get gout attacks and it affects the joints, you want to re-strengthen those joints. So I do recommend some weight resistance exercises. Try and hit the gym. If you don't like the gym, then get a Fitbit, start walking at least 10,000 steps a day. Attain your ideal weight. This is very important for gout lifestyle. You don't want to be overweight because then you're at a higher risk of developing another gout attack. And try and be physically involved. Find something that you like. If it's not walking, then if you like basketball, play basketball at least once, twice a week. Do something at least to keep those joints active and control uric acid levels, because exercise does help also control uric acid.
So people can buy your book on the website. They've got pain relief and joint health support gummies, tropical pain relief cream, and from when you've been in the tropics for too long.
No, topical pain relief.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It actually does say tropical, so that's what I was basically
really
joking.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that typo. All right.
That's okay. My website's full of typos, but I like the title, tropical pain. I figured tropical meant that it's maybe you got some pineapple smells in it, but soothing back really for neck and all that good stuff. But sometimes you're just in the tropics for too too long. You need a break. You need to go back to the city. Uric acid control, dietary supplements, people can order those as well. Well, this is quite the journey. I mean, this is what we talk about on the show, where people, go through their cathartic moments. They go through these issues and lessons of life. Is the best thing to do if you think you have issues to see a doctor and stuff?
Yeah, for gout, I would strongly recommend you listen to your doctor and work with them. Gout is a serious condition, usually for life. And you don't want to be getting recurring gout attacks because that could cause bone erosion down the road. Go to your doctor. If you don't want to go on the allopurinol, which is the main medication to control uric acid, then tell your doctor that you want to try a vegetarian diet or the diet that I advocate in my book, and check your uric acid levels through blood work every 3-4 months, I would say, for a year or two, and see if you could get under control through dietary methods. If not, some people, it will not work. You have to take a dosage of allopurinol. For example, myself, since it's for life, I used to take 300 milligrams of allopurinol daily, but with my diet, I lowered it to 100 milligrams daily. And uric acid has been in control for years now with no gout attacks.
I think I saw in your bio or story that it's not the funnest thing to take or something, that allo.
Oh, no, that's the other drug, colchicine. That's if you get a gout attack, you take colchicine, and colchicine is a very powerful drug. Actually, Benjamin Franklin used to bring the plant to the United States when he used to go to Europe. Because he had gout. He was one of the famous gout sufferers, one of the founding fathers. And colchicine is a medication you take on the onset of the gout attack. You take it to get rid of the pain and inflammation. It works very fast. Within a couple of days, you could be back to normal. But it causes stomach upset and diarrhea, so that's not fun.
That's not fun. Is that pretty much guaranteed, or is that just...
For most people, they're going to get those that issue.
I have that on Taco Bell night when we do the buffet at Taco Bell. So that exploding diarrhea is never fun.
No, it's never fun.
So people can order the book, Gout and You, the Ultimate Gout Diet and Cookbook. What else haven't we touched on that you do for people to help them out?
Well, that's pretty much it. I mean, if you know somebody that suffers from gout, forward them this podcast interview. Let them visit goutandyou.com. Let them sign up to my email list so they could get the latest updates on the latest gout studies, gout information, blog posts I publish, any other new products I put in the market. And they could get my ebook or physical book, learn more about gout. And then if they have any questions, they could email me. I answer all emails within 24 hours. And if they're interested in learning more about my dietary supplements, they could visit the website goutandyou.com or on Amazon and simply put in the search Gout and You, and you'll find all my products on Amazon or Walmart or whichever marketplace you shop at.
I think you need a Gout and You mascot. Like some sort of embodiment. Maybe he's a little crumb of a...
Oh, maybe a little toe, because usually it affects the big toe. So that would be mascot, a big toe.
Yeah,
a big toe.
And he's like, he slaps around some gout thing that tries to get up on him or something, I just think of the marketing commercial, that Geico's really big with that little lizard thing,
exactly, yeah.
So give people a final pitch out, give them your .coms, wherever people can find you on the interwebs.
They could just visit goutandyou.com. I would say the top resource on gout on the internet.
Thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you to our audience for tuning in, and go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss 1 on the TikTok, all this crazy place of the internet. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.